Hey everybody, it is Kit here. Happy Wednesday, hump day, and welcome back to the Brooks Legacy. We are visiting Generation 2. We're with Hope, and today she is having a summer party with the family, so that's pretty exciting, right? A little different, and hopefully everybody's going to be happy. Hopefully. I might slightly be giving it away. It's a little hard for Hope to be happy at the moment, just a tiny bit. But you know, family gatherings are always a good thing. So let's mostly, for most families, I think. For the Brooks, there is no exception to that. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a good week. We are officially at the halfway mark, and yeah, halfway to Friday and the weekend. So chin up, and in the meantime, let's dive right in, shall we? Writing her Strangerville adventure was rather difficult. Hope couldn't get the words out correctly, despite her copious notes from that time period. What if this hurt her family? Andy. Andy was a big worry. Hope spent a lot of time vlogging and doing other things to take her mind off of that worry. She'd signed an NDA and an agreement that she would write the book. Hope could forfeit that, but it was her life, her truth, her story. It wouldn't feel right for anyone else to write from her experiences. But Hope still had time. The book deadline for her publisher was coming up soon, but it wasn't next week. She had time to think on how she would break this news to Andy and her family, how it would affect her relationship with virtually everyone in her professional career, her fans, and how to get the words out on paper. While Erwin didn't have quite the same worries as Hope did, he too was a bit nervous. Yes, Erwin had been right there with Hope for everything, including those experiences. It wasn't him writing the book, you know? But he would be in the story. Maybe the two of them shouldn't be doing this, but as a distraction, they decided to throw a house party for the family. It would be a good way to mellow out, right? Maybe mellow out was the wrong term to use. Because Hope and Erwin certainly didn't expect their guests to arrive grumpy. Blaze was quiet, a little moody, maybe pensive. And he lied to his mom when he said it was nothing to worry about. Hmm. Hope had raised that boy. She knew him inside and out. But she couldn't push. And as for her twin, Andy and Zai were butting heads again. Forever and always. What else was new there? But here was a pleasant surprise. Kason showed up. Hope hadn't heard from him in ages. She loved her nephew, but she felt as though they'd grown apart a lot when he moved out. Although, if family murmurs were to be believed, Kason seemed to have distanced himself from all of his family. But he'd gotten Hope's invitation and had arrived, so maybe whatever the problem was could be patched up. The backyard wasn't quite complete from the renovations, but it was enough for everyone to get a look at Hope's vision, and of course, to enjoy the new pool. It had been a hot summer, but the pool was cool and the big tree allowed for great shade. The pool was a hit, and most everyone's moods went up. Hope's baby panda had certainly gotten in shape this summer. Dang, he was going to be a looker for the girls in the fall at college. Should Hope be worried? And here Oscar had been the sports star of the family. Had. He couldn't keep up with Blaze during their playful lap competition. Still, Hope was so proud of both of them. They each had gotten on the soccer team for their chosen universities. As for Kason, well, he didn't get in the pool. Instead, he passed out on the ground. His dad wasn't around at the time, but everyone flocked around when Kason woke up, and he just mumbled that he was really tired, the red exhaustion bar, and all of that. Hope did wonder, though. He smelled rather earthy, like the seedy locals in Silva Dorada. Oscar and Blaze looked worried, but no one told her anything. Was Hope too old to be in on the family gossip and secrets and news now? Erwin kept an eye on Kaysen from his vantage point at the brand new leaf pit they'd installed. He'd come across a Simbook group that shared island recipes, and Erwin really wanted to try it out. And now when we say an eye, it was more of a panicked outburst every couple of seconds. Kaysen passing out like that had poor Erwin freaked. Kaysen was not really showing much emotion when he did wake up. He just kept mumbling apologies. Sorry, y'all. Didn't get any sleep. Food smells great, Uncle Erwin. Well, Hope had been there before. And being that exhausted did make emotions super damp, she supposed. Well, dampened. But whereas the upcoming chef of the family was acting odd, Oscar was over the moon. That pork was so good, Uncle. How did you make it? And Erwin was more than happy to provide his nephew with the recipe. It was nice to see most of the kids and family having fun and getting along. But Hope couldn't help but have a bad feeling about it all. Kaysen, Sayala, and her brother, Andy. But this wasn't just a family party. Some other family friends had been invited, and it was supposed to be a nice get-together. It was probably best not to ask any questions. Right? At least Panda was super happy to see his parents, and everyone did sort of mellow out, paparazzi and Stinky Dog included. And yes, Hope did sort of mellow out too. This is what she needed. Hope was very grateful that her family was all here. Well, most of them. There was someone missing. And no matter how much she tried to push that hollow feeling aside, being around her family like this made it just a bit worse. Marin should be here. And each day that went by, more and more regret claimed Hope's soul. And Hope's twin knew it. Andy knew just how much this party meant to Hope, both in a good and a bad way. And Andy was right there to provide what comfort he could, with no words, only a big brotherly hug. There weren't really any words for that situation anymore. Nothing anyone could say. It was only time that could heal that particular wound, if anything could. Andy seemed to be feeling much the same as Hope. Age was getting to both of them. Gray was coming up in their hair, and their bones were aching. It was unsettling to be surrounded by their grown kids. Zai was nearly a sophomore in high school, and everyone else was either in college or going in a couple of weeks. How many more opportunities would they have for gatherings like this? Would they all still be together? They were proud of their family, for sure. It was just the march of time. And speaking of kids and time, what was this about Panda going out of town on a trip for his last week of summer? Sorry, Mom. I have this super big opportunity to go visit someone. Someone? Who? But Panda couldn't say, only saying it was a big deal for his future and he had to take the opportunity before he went to university. Of course, Hope was happy for him. I mean, she was his mom, but dang it. She really wanted her baby home for that last week. She'd quietly been looking forward to it, but there was always winter break, right? What was she going to do with that week now? Oh my goodness. Hope's heart is melting! Kason is giving her a hug? Willingly? She hadn't realized just how much she missed her nephew. Gone was the cute little boy always making her smile, but he was still there, somewhere. Thanks for that party invite, Auntie Hope. I really appreciate it. I missed these get-togethers. You should do more. Hope gave him the tightest squeeze she could. I missed you, KK. I'll throw as many as you are willing to come to. But you can always come for a visit. You know that, right? We miss you around here. And all too soon it was time for everyone to leave and for the dishes to be done. Surprisingly, Erwin was thrilled about the idea of doing the pile of dishes. Then again, he was happy to tinker with his freshly upgraded dishwasher. There was some joy to be found in fresh new appliances. As for Kason, he waited until no one was around for a quick hit. He'd done his best to refrain while everyone was around, but he needed one bad. This was testament to how bad Kason needed that cigarette, too. Erwin wasn't even in the house quite yet. Brazenly doing that may not be the best idea, but Kason didn't really care in that moment. And Hope? After she said goodbye to everyone, thinking Kason was in the bathroom or already gone, she enjoyed the memories and her hot tub. Yeah, Kason was really desperate, and apparently bad at realizing he wasn't really alone. But the party was a success. Everyone was mellowed out. So much, in fact, that the sauna saw some action that night. As did a still stinky Annie who was begging for a bath and eye bleach. Youch! And while the sauna was bopping, so was Kason. In a different way. With hit number 2. Or 4. It wasn't until around 3 a.m. that Erwin came outside, a little paranoid, on a bit of a sleepy night walk, and found Kason snoozing in the hot tub. Kason could have drowned! Wait. Is this real? Or all in Erwin's head? The voices are so confusing. And it could just be nothing. Erwin tried to say Kason's name, but Kason didn't wake. So it wasn't real. The sleeping Kason was just a hallucination, right? Yeah. Kason left. He went to Windenburg. He went back. Maybe Erwin just needs some sleep. And sleep they did get off camera, because, there's only so many pictures of them sleeping in a bed that I'm going to take before I can be called a creep, I guess. Sorry, I have a weird amount of drainage. It is like, oh, it's bedtime. It's 1 in the morning. And I am like coughing so bad, so this is going to be great trying to go to bed. But anyways, that is going to be that for the summer house party. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had actually a lot of fun. Hope really hasn't had a lot of get-togethers. I've been working on the house so much and stuff at that time, and it wasn't really ready. Still arguably is not ready, but it's a lot more ready. So it was like, well, I want to do this, so let's throw something together. And I think for what I threw together, I was really happy with it. I think it looks fairly good. It's still very much a work in progress, and yeah, but I liked it. I still like it actually looking at all the pictures and stuff. So, but yeah, it was a cute little family get together, and I just love watching them all interact. And if you were wondering why Lisa wasn't there, she got invited. She did not show up. Oh wait, I think she was working. She might have been working. I don't know where she was. I invited her. She did not show up. Oh well. But anyways, that is going to be it for the Brooks this week. As a reminder, we're going to have a Dragon's Chaos House number 4 next week, and we're going to do Fractured Wanderer and also Clover Legacy. Um, so yeah, that should be exciting. And then after that, we will get with Marin and Blaze, and then we still have more with Xyala and also with Hope. So yeah, we got a little bit more left to go, but we're getting close. I'm pretty sure I can finish the Brooks stuff, get him caught up, uh, this year. I think. I think. Let me look. Yeah, I could very easily actually get Hope caught up. It looks like because I'm almost at the end of her folder. I think. Oh, I think I know what I'm misremembering. Maybe I'm not misremembering. Um, there was a bit with I had a weird mod or something going on where I basically had to redo the fall. I just remember I did basically I just extended the fall season because everybody failed. That's right, everybody failed the first universe, like the first uh fall semester. Like everybody flunked it basically across the board because there was a really weird glitch and I had no idea what was going on, and then I think I updated a mod and it got fixed or something. I still don't remember what that was, but I'm just remembering that everybody's classes kind of got skewed because Oscar was literally the only one that didn't fail. Everybody was on probation. I was so pissed. I was livid. I was unhappy. So I keep thinking for some reason that like another year passed technically, but that's not the case. I just basically didn't take pictures and I kind of quote unquote froze time and I just redid that because I'm sorry. I'm not gonna have Blaze and everybody, and Oscar and Aisha and everybody flunk thanks to a in-game glitch after I've propped them up and doing all that. And not only that, but like they were doing all their homework, they went to every single class, like they did their stuff and they got D's, C's, F's. I was so pissed. I have no idea how Oscar managed to pass and nobody else did. That pissed me off so bad. So anyway, that's what I'm misremembering now that I'm looking at the pictures and my to be written folders that are either empty or have a little bit left. Yeah, we're getting close, which is super exciting. Basically, fall. Fall is kind of where I don't like where I need to get back to playing. I don't remember. I think I'm in winter technically. I think maybe. I don't know. I don't have that much. I really don't. So that's pretty exciting. I'm very happy with that. Um, and then after that, we'll kind of touch base and see where we're at and see where the story and channel and everything goes from there. I mean, obviously I'm going to continue, but there won't be Brooks every week, so we'll have to into that. So yeah. I've blathered on quite enough, but sometimes I like giving an update of where we're at in the grand scheme of the story and how close I am to actually getting to resume. But anyway, thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope y'all enjoyed the updates for this week. Have a great rest of your day, and don't forget, where the water's slow, legacies grow.